Welcome to our peaceful evening. Before we begin tonight's story, find a comfortable and cozy spot. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, allowing your body and mind to fully relax. Imagine you're in a beautiful kingdom where all worries and stress simply melt away. You're standing by a window, gazing out at the soft glow of the setting sun, feeling the gentle breeze caress you. Let these serene images take you to a quiet place where everything flows smoothly and calmly. Now, let our story take you on a magical journey. A journey where you will experience peace and tranquility, guiding you gently into a deep and restful sleep. Allow your mind to unwind and relax completely as we embark on the tale of Princess Lucia and her wondrous adventure in a kingdom full of light and enchantment. Wishing you a restful night and sweet dreams. Chapter 1: The Princess's Dream. In the heart of Aurelia, a kingdom renowned for its lush landscapes and ancient magic, lived Princess Lucia. She was not an ordinary princess, for her spirit was filled with insatiable curiosity and a deep longing for adventure. The people of Aurelia adored her for her kindness and bravery, and tales of her daring escapades were shared far and wide. One tranquil evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the land, Lucia found herself wandering in the enchanted forest. This forest, with its towering trees and shimmering foliage, was a place of wonder and mystery. It was said that the forest held secrets of the past, whispers of old magic, and paths that led to unknown realms. Lucia walked along a well-trodden path, her senses heightened by the sounds and scents of the forest. The rustling leaves seemed to whisper ancient secrets, and the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers filled the air. She felt a gentle pull, as if the forest itself was guiding her to a hidden destination. As she ventured deeper, she stumbled upon an ancient oak tree. Its trunk was massive, covered in intricate carvings that depicted scenes of battles, feasts, and royal ceremonies. Lucia's eyes widened in awe as she traced the carvings with her fingers, feeling the rough texture of the bark beneath her touch. Suddenly, a soft, melodic voice seemed to emerge from the tree, blending with the rustling leaves and the gentle breeze. "Welcome, Princess Lucia," the voice whispered. "You have found the Tree of Legends." Lucia's heart raced with excitement. She had heard stories of the Tree of Legends, a mystical tree that held the knowledge of Aurelia's past. According to legend, the tree could reveal hidden truths and guide those who sought its wisdom. The voice continued, "Within these carvings lies a tale of great importance, a tale of hidden treasures and forgotten kingdoms. Listen carefully, for the whispering caves await you." Lucia's curiosity was piqued. She leaned closer, her breath held in anticipation. The carvings began to glow faintly, and the scenes depicted seemed to come to life, telling a story of a lost kingdom buried deep within the mountains. The story spoke of a wise and noble king who had hidden a great treasure within the Whispering Caves, entrusting its protection to the cave's ancient magic. As the tale unfolded, Lucia felt a sense of purpose stirring within her. The whispering voices of the forest seemed to echo her thoughts, encouraging her to embark on a journey to uncover the hidden treasures. She knew that this quest was not just about finding riches, but about discovering the truths of her kingdom and preserving its legacy. With a determined heart, Lucia made her way back to the castle. The path seemed shorter this time, as if the forest was eager to see her succeed. She could hardly contain her excitement as she entered her chambers, her mind racing with plans for the journey ahead. That night, as she lay in her bed, Lucia dreamed of the Whispering Caves. In her dream, she stood at the entrance of the caves, the whispers of ancient voices guiding her steps. The dream was vivid and clear, filling her with a sense of destiny. She knew that her path was set and the adventure of a lifetime awaited her. The morning sun bathed Aurelia in a soft golden light as Princess Lucia awoke from her dream. The memory of the Whispering Caves lingered in her mind, vivid and compelling. She felt a newfound sense of purpose, knowing that the caves held secrets that could shape the future of her kingdom. Lucia sat up in her bed, her heart still racing from the dream. She knew she had to embark on this journey, not only for the treasures, but to uncover the wisdom and history of Aurelia. She dressed quickly and hurried to the castle library, seeking any information that could aid her quest. The library was a vast hall filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. Sunlight streamed through stained glass windows, casting colourful patterns on the stone floor. Lucia's fingers brushed over the spines of the books as she searched for anything related to the Whispering Caves. After hours of searching, she found an old manuscript hidden in the back of a dusty shelf. It was titled The Chronicles of the Whispering Caves. Lucia's heart leapt with excitement as she carefully opened the fragile pages. The manuscript spoke of the cave's mystical properties, describing how the stones themselves whispered stories of old to those who were worthy. It detailed the legend of the lost kingdom and the treasure hidden within the depths of the caves. The tales matched the ones she had heard in her dream, reaffirming her determination to find the caves. Lucia read on, finding a map that showed the location of the Whispering Caves deep within the Silver Mountains. The map was ancient, its edges frayed and faded, but it was enough to guide her. She committed the route to memory and closed the manuscript, feeling a sense of destiny calling her. That evening, Lucia dined with her family. King Alden and Queen Leora, her parents, noticed the spark of determination in her eyes. They had always known their daughter was destined for greatness, but they were concerned for her safety. "My dear Lucia," King Alden said, his voice tinged with worry, We can see that you are eager for a new adventure. Please, tell us what weighs on your mind." Lucia took a deep breath and shared her dream and the discovery of the manuscript. She spoke of the whispering caves and the hidden treasure, explaining her desire to uncover the secrets that could benefit their kingdom. Queen Leora reached across the table, taking Lucia's hand in hers. "Your spirit is strong and your heart pure, Lucia. We cannot stop you from following your destiny, but promise us you will be cautious and return safely." Lucia nodded, grateful for her parents' understanding. "I promise, Mother. I will be careful and I will return." The next morning, Lucia began her preparations. She packed provisions, maps, and the magical amulet given to her by the old guardian. The amulet, a small pendant with a glowing blue stone, was said to protect the wearer and help them understand the whispers of the caves. Lucia's loyal horse, Luna, was saddled and ready for the journey. Luna was a magnificent white mare with a gentle demeanor and an unbreakable bond with Lucia. Together, they had explored many parts of Aurelia, and Luna seemed to sense the importance of this new adventure. As Lucia mounted Luna, her parents and the people of Aurelia gathered to bid her farewell. The castle gates opened, and she rode out with a heart full of hope and determination. The path to the Silver Mountains was long and arduous, but Lucia felt a sense of calm knowing that the whispers of the caves would guide her. The journey was just beginning, and Lucia knew that many challenges lay ahead. But with each step, the memory of her dream and the promise of the whispering caves spurred her forward. She was ready to uncover the hidden treasures and the ancient stories that awaited her. The morning sun rose high above the kingdom of Aurelia as Princess Lucia rode through the gates of the castle on her loyal horse, Luna. The path to the Silver Mountains stretched before her, winding through lush valleys and dense forests, leading to the unknown. Lucia's heart was filled with a mix of excitement and determination, her thoughts consumed by the tales of the whispering caves. The journey began with a sense of purpose. Lucia and Luna moved at a steady pace, the rhythmic sound of hooves on the cobblestone path blending with the chorus of birdsong and the whisper of the wind through the trees. Lucia's mind wandered back to the ancient manuscript she had discovered in the castle library, its pages filled with legends of the lost kingdom and the treasures hidden within the caves. She knew that this quest was about more than just finding riches. It was about uncovering the history and wisdom of her ancestors. As the day progressed, Lucia encountered the first signs of the mountains in the distance. The peaks, shrouded in mist, loomed like silent sentinels guarding the secrets within. She took a moment to admire the beauty of the landscape, the rolling hills and vibrant wildflowers painting a picturesque scene. Yet, beneath the surface, she sensed the weight of her mission, the responsibility of her quest pressing gently on her shoulders. Lucia and Luna continued their journey, entering a dense forest that lay at the foothills of the Silver Mountains. The forest was ancient, its towering trees casting long shadows that danced with the light of the setting sun. The air was cool and filled with the earthy scent of moss and pine. Lucia felt a strange comfort in the embrace of the forest, as if the trees themselves whispered encouragement to her. As twilight descended, Lucia decided to set up camp for the night. She found a small clearing near a bubbling brook, its crystal clear water reflecting the last rays of sunlight. Lucia unsaddled Luna, allowing her companion to graze on the lush grass while she prepared a simple meal. The crackling of the fire and the distant hoot of an owl provided a soothing backdrop as she ate, her thoughts turning to the days ahead. After her meal, Lucia sat by the fire, the flames casting flickering shadows on her face. She took out the magical amulet given to her by the old guardian of the forest. The blue stone glowed softly, its light comforting and warm. Lucia held it close, feeling a sense of connection to the ancient magic that had guided her ancestors. She knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but the amulet gave her confidence and reassurance. As the night deepened, Lucia lay down on her bedroll, gazing up at the canopy of stars above. The sky was a tapestry of twinkling lights, each star a reminder of the vastness of the world and the mysteries it held. She closed her eyes, allowing the gentle whispers of the forest and the soft glow of the amulet to lull her into a peaceful sleep. In her dreams, Lucia found herself once again at the entrance of the Whispering Caves. The voices of the ancient stones echoed around her, guiding her steps through the dark and winding tunnels. She felt a sense of clarity and purpose, the whispers telling her of the trials she would face and the wisdom she would gain. The dream was vivid and comforting, filling her with a renewed sense of determination. When dawn broke, Lucia awoke with a smile, her heart light and her spirit ready for the challenges ahead. She saddled Luna, her loyal companion nuzzling her affectionately as if sensing the significance of their journey. With the sun rising behind them, casting a golden glow over the landscape, Lucia and Luna set off once more, the path to the Silver Mountains and the Whispering Caves stretching before them. Lucia and Luna continued their journey through the dense forest, the path becoming more rugged and challenging as they approached the foothills of the Silver Mountains. The ancient trees seemed to whisper words of encouragement, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. The air grew cooler, and the scent of pine and earth was strong, invigorating Lucia as she rode. The sun was high in the sky when Lucia and Luna emerged from the forest, the towering peaks of the Silver Mountains now looming before them. The mountains stood majestic and awe-inspiring, their snow-capped summits glistening in the sunlight. Lucia felt a thrill of anticipation, knowing she was drawing closer to the Whispering Caves. As they ascended a rocky trail that wound its way up the mountain, Lucia spotted a figure in the distance. An old man, his beard long and white, stood at the edge of the path. He was clothed in simple, earth-toned robes and leaned on a gnarled wooden staff. Despite his age, his eyes sparkled with wisdom and strength. Lucia guided Luna towards the old man, sensing that he was no ordinary traveler. As they approached, the man raised his hand in greeting. "Welcome, Princess Lucia," he said, his voice deep and resonant. "I have been expecting you." Lucia dismounted and bowed respectfully. "Greetings, wise one. How do you know my name?" The old man smiled, his eyes twinkling. "I am Eamon, the guardian of these mountains and protector of the Whispering Caves. The forest spoke of your coming, and the winds carried your name. You seek the hidden treasures of the caves, do you not?" Lucia nodded. "Yes, I do. I have heard the whispers and read the ancient tales. I believe the treasure holds the key to the wisdom and prosperity of Aurelia." Eamon's expression grew serious. "The path you seek is fraught with danger and challenges. The caves are alive with ancient magic, and only those who are pure of heart and strong of spirit can navigate their depths." He reached into the folds of his robes and produced a small glowing amulet. "Take this, Princess Lucia. This amulet will protect you and help you understand the whispers of the caves. It is imbued with the magic of the guardians who came before me." Lucia accepted the amulet, feeling its warmth radiate through her fingers. "Thank you, Eamon. I will cherish this gift and use it wisely." Eamon nodded approvingly. "Remember, Princess, the true treasure lies not in gold or jewels, but in the wisdom and courage you gain along your journey. Trust in yourself, and the caves will guide you." With a final nod, Eamon stepped aside, allowing Lucia and Luna to continue their ascent. The path grew steeper and more treacherous, but Lucia felt a renewed sense of purpose and strength. The amulet around her neck glowed softly, its light reassuring and protective. As they climbed higher, the landscape transformed into a rugged wilderness. Rocky outcrops jutted from the mountainside, and the air grew thin and crisp. Lucia's breath came in short gasps, but she pressed on, driven by the whispers of the caves and the promise of uncovering their secrets. After hours of arduous climbing, Lucia and Luna reached a plateau overlooking a breathtaking valley. In the distance, hidden behind a cascading waterfall, was the entrance to the Whispering Caves. The waterfall sparkled in the sunlight, creating a shimmering curtain that concealed the mysteries within. Lucia dismounted, her heart pounding with excitement and trepidation. She approached the waterfall, the sound of rushing water filling her ears. The amulet glowed brighter, guiding her steps as she reached out to touch the cool, refreshing spray. With a deep breath, Lucia stepped through the waterfall, emerging into a cavern filled with an ethereal light. The air was cool and damp, and the faint whispers of ancient voices echoed off the stone walls. Lucia knew she had arrived at the entrance of the Whispering Caves, and her journey was about to truly begin. The ethereal glow inside the Whispering Caves cast an otherworldly light, illuminating the intricate patterns carved into the walls. The cool, damp air carried a faint, ancient scent, a mix of earth and mystery. Lucia stood at the threshold, feeling the weight of history pressing gently upon her shoulders. She took a deep breath, her eyes adjusting to the dim light. The whispers of the caves grew louder, their melodious tones blending with the sound of the waterfall behind her. It was as if the very stones were alive, sharing their secrets with those who dared to listen. Lucia's heart pounded with a mix of excitement and trepidation. She reached up to touch the glowing amulet around her neck, feeling its warmth seep into her skin. The old guardian's words echoed in her mind. The true treasure lies not in gold or jewels, but in the wisdom and courage you gain along your journey. Determined, Lucia took her first step into the cavern. The ground beneath her feet was smooth, worn by the passage of countless travelers before her. The whispers guided her deeper into the cave, their tones shifting and changing, forming words that only she could understand. "Welcome, seeker of truth," the voices murmured. "Your journey has just begun." Lucia followed the path illuminated by the soft glow of the amulet. The cavern walls seemed to shimmer with a faint light, revealing ancient carvings that told stories of old. She paused to examine one of the carvings, her fingers tracing the delicate lines. The scene depicted a mighty king standing before a crowd of people, holding aloft a radiant gem. The inscription below read, "The King of Aurelia, bearer of the light of wisdom." Intrigued, Lucia continued deeper into the caves. The path wound through narrow passages and vast chambers, each turn revealing more of the cave's secrets. She marveled at the beauty and craftsmanship of the carvings, feeling a deep connection to the history they represented. As she ventured further, the whispers grew louder and more insistent. They guided her to a small, hidden alcove where a faint light emanated from a crevice in the wall. Lucia crouched down and peered inside, her breath catching in her throat. Within the crevice lay a small, intricately carved box. The box was made of dark wood, its surface adorned with precious gems and silver filigree. Lucia reached out and carefully lifted the box, feeling its surprising weight. The whispers urged her to open it, their tones filled with anticipation. With trembling hands, Lucia lifted the lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of velvet, was a scroll made of ancient parchment. The edges of the scroll were worn and fragile, but the ink was as dark and clear as if it had been written yesterday. Lucia unrolled the scroll, her eyes scanning the elegant script. The scroll told the tale of the lost kingdom of Aurelia, a kingdom hidden deep within the mountains, where a wise and noble king had hidden a great treasure. The king, fearing that the treasure's power would be misused, entrusted its protection to the Whispering Caves. Only those who were pure of heart and strong of spirit could find the treasure and unlock its secrets. Lucia's heart swelled with emotion as she read the final lines of the scroll. The treasure you seek is not merely wealth, but the wisdom and knowledge to lead your people. Trust in the whispers, and they will guide you. With the scroll in hand, Lucia felt a renewed sense of purpose. She carefully placed it back in the box and stood up, the whispers of the caves growing softer, as if they were pleased with her discovery. She knew that this was only the beginning of her journey, and that many more challenges lay ahead. As she turned to leave the alcove, Lucia heard a new whisper, a voice that was clear and strong. The first story has been revealed. The path to the lost kingdom begins with you. Lucia nodded, her resolve strengthening. She had found the first clue to the hidden treasure, and she was ready to face whatever trials awaited her in the depths of the Whispering Caves. The soft glow from the amulet around Lucia's neck bathed the cavern in a gentle light as she continued deeper into the Whispering Caves. Her footsteps echoed softly against the smooth stone, mingling with the ancient whispers that guided her. She felt the weight of the scroll in her satchel, a tangible reminder of the path she was on. The cavern walls began to narrow, funneling her into a vast domed chamber. The air was thick with a sense of history, as if the very stones had borne witness to countless ages. The whispers grew louder, harmonizing into a single, coherent voice that filled the chamber. "Welcome, Princess Lucia," the voice intoned, resonant and melodic. "You have uncovered the first secret of the Whispering Caves. Now, listen to the tale of the lost kingdom." The walls of the chamber shimmered, and Lucia watched in awe as images began to form in the stone. It was as if the cavern itself had come alive, projecting the story in vivid detail. "In the heart of the Silver Mountains," the voice began, "there once existed a kingdom of unparalleled beauty and wisdom. This was the kingdom of Aurelia, ruled by a wise and noble king named Alaric. King Alaric was beloved by his people, for he governed with justice and compassion." Lucia saw the image of King Alaric, a tall figure with a crown of silver leaves, standing before his subjects. His eyes were kind, and his presence exuded a sense of strength and serenity. But peace, as it often does, attracted envy and greed, the voice continued. A rival kingdom sought to claim Aurelia's riches and wisdom for itself. In the midst of this turmoil, King Alaric decided to protect the kingdom's greatest treasure, the light of wisdom. He knew that if the treasure fell into the wrong hands, it could lead to the ruin of all he held dear. The images shifted, showing King Alaric entrusting a radiant gem, glowing with an inner light, to a council of wizards. The wizards, cloaked in robes of deep blue, chanted incantations as they placed the gem within a hidden chamber deep within the mountains. With the aid of the wizards, King Alaric concealed the light of wisdom within the whispering caves, the voice explained. Only those who proved themselves worthy, who showed purity of heart and strength of spirit, could ever hope to find it. The whispers of the caves were imbued with the magic of the wizards, guiding those who sought the treasure. The images dissolved, and Lucia found herself standing once again in the silent chamber. The whispers receded to a gentle murmur, leaving her with a profound sense of purpose. The lost kingdom of Aurelia and its hidden treasure were not just legends. They were a vital part of her heritage and her future. The path to the light of wisdom is fraught with challenges, the voice said softly. But you, Princess Lucia, have already shown the courage and wisdom required. Trust in the whispers, and they will guide you. Lucia bowed her head, her heart swelling with determination. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. The knowledge she had gained from the first story was a beacon, lighting her way through the darkness of the caves. With renewed resolve, Lucia retraced her steps back to the entrance of the chamber. The path ahead was uncertain, but the whispers of the caves were her constant companions, guiding her every step. She felt the presence of the ancient kings and wizards who had come before her, their legacy intertwined with her own. As she stepped out of the chamber and back into the labyrinthine tunnels of the whispering caves, Lucia felt a profound sense of connection to her ancestors. She was not just seeking a treasure. She was walking in the footsteps of those who had shaped the very foundations of Aurelia. And with every step, she was one step closer to uncovering the true light of wisdom. Chapter 2: The Secrets Within. Lucia ventured deeper into the whispering caves, the ancient whispers growing ever more insistent. She held the amulet close to her chest, feeling its warmth guide her as she navigated the labyrinthine tunnels. The light from the amulet illuminated her path, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The air grew cooler, and the whispers coalesced into a gentle, guiding hum. Lucia felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if she had walked these paths before in dreams. She knew the caves were testing her, and she was determined to prove herself worthy of the secrets they held. As she rounded a bend, the tunnel opened into a vast chamber. The walls were adorned with glowing crystals, their light reflecting off the smooth, polished stone. Lucia's breath caught in her throat at the sight. It was a hidden path, one not marked on any map, revealed only to those the caves deemed worthy. She stepped carefully into the chamber, her footsteps echoing softly. The whispers guided her to the far end, where a narrow passageway beckoned. Lucia hesitated for a moment, feeling the weight of the unknown pressing down on her. But the amulet's glow reassured her, and she pressed on. The passageway led to a series of narrow, winding tunnels. Lucia moved with caution, her senses heightened. The walls seemed to close in around her, the air growing thicker with each step. She could feel the ancient magic of the caves all around her, a palpable force that both comforted and challenged her. As she ventured deeper, the whispers grew clearer, their voices weaving together into a single narrative. They spoke of the hidden path, a secret route known only to the guardians of Aurelia. This path, they said, would lead her to the heart of the caves, where the greatest secrets were kept. Lucia's heart pounded with excitement and trepidation. She knew she was drawing closer to her goal, but she also sensed the trials that lay ahead. The whispers warned of challenges that would test her resolve and her spirit. The tunnel opened into another chamber, smaller and more intimate than the last. In the center stood a pedestal, carved from the same polished stone as the walls. Upon the pedestal lay a small, ornate chest, its surface covered in intricate runes and symbols. Lucia approached the chest with reverence. The whispers urged her to open it, their voices filled with anticipation. She reached out, her fingers trembling slightly, and lifted the lid. Inside the chest lay a key, wrought from pure silver and adorned with a single glowing gem. Lucia felt a surge of energy as she touched it, the whispers growing louder and more insistent. This key, she knew, was a crucial part of her journey. It would unlock the next step in her quest, leading her deeper into the mysteries of the Whispering Caves. With the key in hand, Lucia felt a renewed sense of purpose. She carefully placed it in her satchel, alongside the scroll she had found earlier. The path ahead was still shrouded in mystery, but she knew she was on the right track. The whispers guided her back to the main tunnel, the hidden path fading behind her. Lucia's steps were sure and steady, her resolve unshaken. She knew that each trial she faced brought her closer to the heart of the caves and the ancient wisdom they protected. As she walked, Lucia thought of the lost kingdom of Aurelia and the legacy of King Alaric. She felt a deep connection to her ancestors, their strength and wisdom flowing through her veins. The journey was not just about finding a treasure. It was about uncovering the truths that would shape the future of her kingdom. The tunnel stretched out before her, the whispers leading her ever onward. Lucia's heart was light, her spirit strong. She was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in the knowledge that she was guided by the ancient magic of the Whispering Caves. Lucia pressed forward, the whispers of the caves guiding her through twisting tunnels and grand chambers. The glow of her amulet provided a steady light, illuminating her path as she ventured deeper into the heart of the Whispering Caves. The air grew cooler, the scent of ancient stone and hidden secrets filling her senses. As she walked, the whispers began to shift, forming a coherent story that resonated through the cavern walls. Hear now the tale of the guardian, the voices intoned, their tones solemn and reverent. Lucia paused, her attention fully captured by the story unfolding around her. In the time of King Alaric, the whispers began. The caves were entrusted to a powerful and wise guardian, a creature of great majesty and strength. This guardian, known as Aloria, was a being of pure magic, bound to the protection of the caves and the treasures within. Lucia's surroundings seemed to come alive, the walls displaying scenes from the tale. She saw an image of Aloria, a majestic dragon with scales that shimmered like the night sky. The dragon's eyes glowed with an inner light, reflecting wisdom and power. Aloria stood at the entrance of the whispering caves, her wings spread wide, a symbol of the guardianship bestowed upon her. Aloria was charged with a sacred duty, the whispers continued. She was to protect the light of wisdom, ensuring that only those pure of heart and strong of spirit could reach it. Many sought the treasure, but few were deemed worthy. Aloria's tests were not of strength alone, but of character and virtue. The images shifted to show various seekers who had come before Lucia, each facing trials set by Aloria. Some faltered, their hearts burdened by greed or fear. Others found their way through the challenges, their spirits pure and intentions noble. Those who succeeded were granted a glimpse of the light of wisdom, their lives forever changed by the encounter. Lucia felt a sense of awe and respect for Aloria. The guardian's role was not just to protect the treasure, but to ensure that those who sought it were worthy of its power. She understood that her own journey would soon bring her face to face with the guardian, and she prepared herself mentally and emotionally for the trials ahead. As the whispers faded, Lucia continued along the path, her resolve strengthened by the tale of Aloria. She knew that the guardian was not an adversary to be conquered, but a wise protector to be honored. Her heart swelled with determination to prove herself worthy of the treasure and the wisdom it held. The tunnel led her to a large cavern, its ceiling high and adorned with glittering stalactites. In the center of the cavern was a tranquil pool, its surface perfectly still and reflecting the shimmering lights above. Lucia approached the pool, sensing that this was a place of significance. As she knelt by the water's edge, the amulet around her neck glowed brightly. The whispers returned, softer this time, filled with anticipation. Lucia, seeker of truth, the voices said, you stand at the threshold of your greatest challenge. Aloria awaits, and your heart shall be tested. With a deep breath, Lucia stood and stepped forward. The water of the pool began to ripple, and a mist rose from its surface. The air shimmered with magic, and from the mist emerged a magnificent figure. Eloria, the guardian of the caves, appeared before her, her scales gleaming with an ethereal light. Eloria's eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, locked onto Lucia's. The dragon spoke, her voice a harmonious blend of power and gentleness. Princess Lucia, I have watched your journey. You have shown courage and wisdom, but your true test lies ahead. Are you prepared to face it? Lucia bowed deeply, her voice steady and respectful. I am, Guardian Eloria. I seek the light of wisdom not for myself, but for the good of Aurelia. I am ready to prove my worth. Eloria nodded, a look of approval in her eyes. Very well. The trials will test your heart, your mind, and your spirit. Trust in yourself, and you shall find the way. The mist around Eloria thickened, enveloping Lucia in a veil of mystery. She felt the ground shift beneath her feet, and the cavern transformed into a realm of challenges. Lucia stood tall, her heart filled with determination and a deep sense of purpose. She was ready to face the trial set by Eloria and uncover the secrets of the Whispering Caves. As the mist dissipated, Lucia found herself standing at the entrance of a new passage, its walls covered in ancient runes that glowed with a soft, pulsing light. The air was thick with anticipation, the whispers of the caves guiding her forward with a gentle hum. Lucia felt a deep sense of reverence for the history and magic that surrounded her. The passageway was narrow, forcing Lucia to walk with care. The runes on the walls seemed to respond to her presence, their light growing brighter with each step she took. She knew she was approaching another pivotal point in her journey, a place where the secrets of the Whispering Caves would be revealed. After what felt like hours of careful navigation, the passage opened into a grand chamber. The ceiling arched high above her, adorned with sparkling crystals that cast prismatic light across the room. At the center of the chamber stood a large stone pedestal, surrounded by intricate carvings and symbols that seemed to tell a story of their own. Lucia approached the pedestal, her eyes drawn to a set of ancient artifacts displayed upon it. There was a beautifully crafted sword, its blade etched with runes similar to those on the walls. Next to the sword lay a golden chalice, encrusted with jewels that glittered in the light. Finally, there was an old leather-bound book, its cover worn and faded from the passage of time. The whispers urged her to examine the book first. Lucia reached out and gently opened it, the pages crackling softly under her fingers. The book was filled with inscriptions and diagrams, detailing the history of the Whispering Caves and the treasures they held. She scanned the pages, absorbing the knowledge within. One particular passage caught her eye. It spoke of the guardian of the caves and the trials she would face. The book described the trials as tests of heart, mind, and spirit, each designed to reveal the true character of the seeker. Lucia understood that these artifacts were part of those trials, each holding a clue to the wisdom she sought. She lifted the sword from the pedestal, feeling its weight and the power it seemed to radiate. The runes on the blade glowed brighter as she held it, and the whispers grew louder, guiding her thoughts. The sword was a symbol of courage and strength, a reminder that her journey required not just physical prowess, but a brave and resolute heart. Next, Lucia picked up the chalice. It felt warm to the touch, and as she held it, a sense of calm and clarity washed over her. The chalice represented wisdom and understanding, the ability to discern the truth and see beyond the surface of things. Lucia knew that her journey was as much about inner growth as it was about uncovering external treasures. Finally, she turned her attention back to the book. The whispers guided her to a specific page where a detailed map of the caves was drawn. The map revealed a hidden passage leading to a secret chamber, a place where the heart of the caves and the light of wisdom could be found. Lucia carefully traced the path on the map with her finger, committing it to memory. She felt a surge of excitement, knowing she was one step closer to her goal. The whispers encouraged her, their voices filled with a sense of approval and anticipation. With the sword at her side, the chalice in her satchel, and the book in her hands, Lucia left the chamber, following the hidden passage marked on the map. The journey was far from over, but she felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The artifacts she carried were not just symbols. They were keys to unlocking the deeper mysteries of the Whispering Caves. As she ventured further into the depths, the air grew cooler and the light dimmer. The whispers guided her steps, their tones reassuring and supportive. Lucia felt a profound connection to the ancient magic that permeated the caves, a bond that strengthened her resolve. The hidden passage led her to another chamber, smaller and more intimate than the last. In the center of the room was a stone altar, its surface engraved with more runes and symbols. Lucia approached the altar, feeling the weight of the artifacts she carried. She knew this was another crucial moment in her journey, a place where the next piece of the puzzle would be revealed. With a deep breath, Lucia placed the sword, chalice, and book on the altar. The runes on the altar glowed brightly, and the whispers filled the chamber with a harmonious chant. The symbols began to shift and change, forming a new image that Lucia knew held the key to the next part of her journey. The whispers spoke clearly, their voices filled with wisdom and guidance. "You have done well, Princess Lucia. The guardian awaits, and the path to the light of wisdom is within your reach. Trust in your heart, your mind, and your spirit, and you shall succeed." Lucia nodded, her heart filled with determination and gratitude. She was ready to face the trials ahead, confident in the knowledge and strength she had gained. The journey through the Whispering Caves was far from over, but she felt prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Lucia's path wound deeper into the Whispering Caves, each step echoing softly in the quiet luminescent corridors. She felt a profound connection to the artifacts she carried: the sword, the chalice, and the book, each a testament to the trials she had faced and the wisdom she had gained. The whispers grew louder and more coherent, guiding her towards the next revelation. The tunnel opened into another grand chamber, even more magnificent than the ones before. The ceiling soared high above, adorned with intricate patterns of glowing crystals that bathed the room in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the chamber stood a stone dais, and upon it an ancient, ornately decorated pedestal. Lucia felt drawn to it, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she approached, the whispers coalesced into a harmonious chant, their voices rich with history and power. "Listen, seeker of truth," they intoned. "Hear the tale of the ancient treasure forged by the Council of Wizards to bring prosperity and peace to the kingdom of Aurelia." The walls of the chamber shimmered, and scenes from the past began to unfold. Lucia watched, mesmerized, as the story of the ancient treasure came to life before her eyes. "In a time long forgotten," the whispers began, "Aurelia was a land of great magic and wisdom, governed by a council of powerful wizards. These wizards, entrusted with the well-being of the kingdom, sought to create a treasure that would embody the virtues of peace, prosperity, and wisdom. They worked in secret, combining their knowledge and magic to forge a gem of unparalleled beauty and power: the light of wisdom." Lucia saw the wizards in their flowing robes, gathered around a forge, their hands weaving spells of immense power. The gem they created shone with a radiant light, its glow reflecting the pure intentions of its creators. The whispers continued, recounting the gem's significance. "The light of wisdom," they said, "was more than a mere treasure. It was a beacon of hope, a source of guidance for the rulers of Aurelia. It had the power to illuminate the hearts of those who sought its counsel, bringing clarity and understanding in times of darkness." The scenes shifted, showing the wizards presenting the gem to King Alaric, who accepted it with reverence. The king's face shone with gratitude and determination as he vowed to protect the treasure and use its power for the good of his people. Under his rule, Aurelia flourished, its people living in harmony and prosperity. But as with all things of great value, the whispers warned, the light of wisdom attracted those who sought to use its power for selfish ends. Fearing the gem's potential for misuse, King Alaric and the Council of Wizards decided to hide it within the Whispering Caves, where only the worthy could find it. The images faded, and Lucia was left standing before the pedestal, her heart swelling with a mix of awe and responsibility. The tale of the ancient treasure had revealed the true importance of her quest. It was not merely about finding the gem, but about preserving the virtues it represented. The whispers spoke once more, their tones filled with encouragement. Princess Lucia. You have shown courage, wisdom, and a pure heart. The final trial awaits you. Prove your worth, and the light of wisdom shall be revealed to you." Lucia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the sword at her side, the warmth of the chalice in her satchel, and the knowledge within the ancient book. She knew that her journey had prepared her for this moment, and she was ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. With renewed determination, she stepped towards a narrow archway at the far end of the chamber. The whispers guided her, their voices now a comforting presence. She could sense the heart of the caves drawing nearer, and with it, the final test that would determine her worthiness. The path beyond the archway led to a series of winding tunnels, each more intricate and challenging than the last. Lucia moved with purpose, her mind focused on the task ahead. She felt a deep connection to the ancestors who had walked these paths before her, their strength and wisdom flowing through her veins. At last, the tunnel opened into a vast circular chamber. The air was filled with a gentle hum, and at the center of the room stood a figure, a majestic creature with scales that shimmered like the night sky. Eloria, the guardian of the caves, awaited her. Lucia approached with respect, her heart pounding. The guardian's eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, locked onto hers. "Princess Lucia," Eloria said, her voice resonant and gentle, "you have come far. The final trial lies before you. Are you prepared to face it?" Lucia bowed deeply, her voice steady and resolute. "I am ready, Guardian Eloria. I seek the light of wisdom for the good of Aurelia. I am prepared to prove my worth." Eloria nodded, a look of approval in her eyes. "Very well. The trials will test your heart, mind, and spirit. Trust in yourself, and you shall succeed." Lucia stood tall, her spirit unwavering. She was ready to face the final trials and uncover the secrets of the Whispering Caves. The journey had been long and arduous, but she knew that every step had brought her closer to her destiny. Lucia stood before Eloria, the guardian of the Whispering Caves, her heart steady and her resolve unwavering. The guardian's eyes, deep and knowing, held her gaze as if measuring her worth. The air in the cavern was charged with anticipation, the whispers of the ancient stones encouraging her forward. "To prove yourself worthy of the light of wisdom," Eloria began, her voice echoing through the chamber. "You must face 3 trials. These trials will test your heart, mind, and spirit. Only by overcoming them will you demonstrate that you possess the qualities needed to wield the treasure's power." Lucia nodded, her expression resolute. "I am ready, Guardian Eloria. I will face these trials with courage and honor." Eloria's eyes softened with approval. "Very well, Princess Lucia. Let the trials begin." With the wave of Eloria's majestic wing, the chamber transformed. The walls shifted and shimmered, creating 3 distinct paths, each leading to a different part of the cavern. The first path was lined with glowing crystals, the second with ancient runes, and the third with flickering shadows. Choose your path, Eloria instructed. Each one represents a different aspect of the trials you must face. Lucia considered the paths before her, feeling the whispers guide her choice. She stepped towards the path lined with glowing crystals, sensing that it would test her heart. As she entered the path, the crystal's light grew brighter, illuminating the way forward. The tunnel led to a large chamber filled with even more radiant crystals. At the center of the chamber was a pedestal with a heart-shaped crystal glowing softly. Lucia approached, feeling the warmth emanate from the crystal. The whispers guided her, and she understood that this trial was about compassion and empathy. The room began to shift, and images of her people appeared around her. She saw their hopes, their struggles, and their dreams. Lucia felt their emotions deeply, her heart resonating with their joys and sorrows. The whispers encouraged her to reach out, to offer comfort and support. Lucia knelt before the heart-shaped crystal and placed her hands upon it. She closed her eyes and let her own heart open to the people of Aurelia. She spoke words of encouragement, her voice filled with genuine compassion and love. The crystal's light intensified, and the images of her people glowed with renewed hope and strength. "You have passed the first trial," Eloria's voice echoed in the chamber. "Your heart is pure, and your compassion is true. Proceed to the next path." Lucia rose, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. She returned to the main chamber and chose the second path, lined with ancient runes. This path led her to a library of sorts, filled with scrolls and books containing the knowledge of Aurelia's history and magic. The whispers guided her to a particular book, its cover adorned with golden symbols. Lucia opened the book and found a riddle written inside. "To find the truth, you must look within, where wisdom lies and light begins. Answer the question with mind and heart, for knowledge and truth are never apart." Lucia pondered the riddle, feeling the whispers of the cave encouraging her. She realized that the answer lay in understanding both her mind and her heart. She focused on the book, letting the wisdom of the past flow through her. The answer came to her like a gentle breeze. "The truth is within us," she said aloud. "Wisdom and knowledge are born from understanding our own hearts and minds." The book glowed brightly, and the runes around the chamber shimmered in approval. Lucia had passed the second trial, her mind and heart working in harmony to uncover the truth. "You have shown great wisdom," Eloria's voice praised her. "Now, proceed to the final path and prove your spirit." Lucia stepped onto the third path, where flickering shadows danced on the walls. The air was cooler, filled with the sense of mystery and challenge. This trial, she knew, would test her courage and resolve. The path led to a dark cavern where the shadows took on frightening forms. Lucia felt a chill of fear, but stood her ground, her heart steady. She remembered the guardian's words and trusted in her own strength. Face your fears, the whispers urged her. Show your true spirit. Lucia took a deep breath and stepped forward, confronting the shadows with unwavering bravery. She raised the sword she carried, its runes glowing brightly, and slashed through the darkness. Each swing dispelled a shadow, revealing the light within. The cavern filled with a brilliant glow, the shadows vanishing into the light. Lucia stood tall, her spirit triumphant. She had faced her fears and overcome them with courage and determination. You have proven your spirit, Eloria's voice declared, filled with pride. You are worthy of the light of wisdom. Return to the main chamber, and your reward shall be revealed. Lucia made her way back to the main chamber, her heart filled with a sense of accomplishment. She had faced the trials and emerged victorious, her heart, mind, and spirit tested and proven true. In the center of the chamber, Eloria awaited her, a radiant gem hovering in the air beside her. The light of wisdom glowed with an ethereal light, its beauty and power undeniable. Princess Lucia, Eloria said, her voice filled with reverence. You have shown yourself worthy. The light of wisdom is yours. Use it with the same courage, compassion, and wisdom you have demonstrated on your journey. Lucia stepped forward, her hand trembling slightly as she reached for the gem. The moment her fingers touched its surface, a surge of energy flowed through her, filling her with profound knowledge and clarity. The whispers of the cave celebrated her success, their voices a harmonious song of approval. With the light of wisdom in her possession, Lucia felt a deep connection to her ancestors and the future of Aurelia. She had completed her quest, but she knew her journey was far from over. The true challenge lay ahead, in using the wisdom she had gained to lead her kingdom to a brighter future. The chamber filled with light as Lucia grasped the radiant gem, the light of wisdom. Its energy coursed through her, filling her with a profound sense of clarity and strength. She felt a deep connection to the ancient wizards who had created it and to the legacy of King Alaric. The whispers of the cave sang in harmonious approval, their tones blending into a symphony of triumph. Eloria, the guardian of the caves, watched Lucia with eyes full of pride and respect. You have proven yourself worthy, Princess Lucia, she said, her voice resonating with ancient wisdom. The light of wisdom is now yours to protect and use for the betterment of Aurelia. Remember, its power lies not just in the gem, but in the wisdom and courage you have gained on your journey. Lucia nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. She knew that her quest had not only been about finding the treasure, but about discovering her own inner strength and the qualities needed to be a true leader. Thank you, Guardian Eloria, she said, her voice steady. I will honor the legacy of the light of wisdom and use its power to bring prosperity and peace to my kingdom. Eloria inclined her head, a gentle smile playing on her lips. Go now, Lucia, and carry the light of wisdom with you. The people of Aurelia await your return, and your journey is far from over. The wisdom you have gained here will guide you through the challenges ahead. With the final nod of respect to Eloria, Lucia turned and began her journey back through the Whispering Caves. The path seemed shorter now, the light from the gem illuminating the way. The whispers accompanied her, their voices now a comforting presence, guiding her safely back to the surface. As Lucia emerged from the caves, the sunlight warmed her face, and the fresh mountain air filled her lungs. She looked out over the landscape of Aurelia, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Luna, her loyal horse, awaited her, and the sight of her faithful companion brought a smile to Lucia's face. She mounted Luna, the gem secure in her satchel, and began the journey back to the castle. Along the way, Lucia reflected on the trials she had faced and the lessons she had learned. She thought of the ancient tree in the enchanted forest, the guardian's warning, and the stories whispered by the stones of the caves. Each step had brought her closer to understanding the true meaning of her quest. As she rode through the kingdom, the people of Aurelia greeted her with joy and admiration. They could see the change in her, the newfound strength and wisdom that radiated from within. Lucia shared her journey with them, speaking of the treasures of the Whispering Caves and the legacy of King Alaric. She spoke of the light of wisdom and the importance of using its power for the good of all. The people listened in awe, their hearts filled with hope and inspiration. They saw in Lucia a leader who was not only brave and wise, but also compassionate and just. The bond between the princess and her people grew stronger, and the kingdom of Aurelia flourished under her guidance. Back at the castle, Lucia was welcomed by her family with open arms. King Alden and Queen Leora listened intently as Lucia recounted her journey, their eyes shining with pride. "You have done well, my daughter," King Alden said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have proven yourself to be a true leader, worthy of the legacy of Aurelia." Queen Leora embraced Lucia, her eyes filled with tears of joy. "We always knew you were destined for greatness, Lucia. The light of wisdom has chosen well." Lucia smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that her journey was just beginning, and that many challenges lay ahead. But with the light of wisdom and the support of her family and people, she was ready to face whatever the future held. The whispers of the caves had guided her well, and their wisdom would continue to light her path. As Lucia looked out over her kingdom, she felt a sense of peace and purpose. The legacy of Aurelia was in good hands, and the future shone bright with the promise of wisdom and courage.